I guess I'm kind of a fair weather friend when it comes to stocks. I love it when they give me money, and I'm most likely to leave them when they don't give me money. That's kind of bad, I guess, but it feels so good. This is not financial nor professional advice. This video is for entertainment only. Hey everyone, today I want to talk about the metaverse and what I think are the stocks to invest in. Without giving you too long of a list, I want to give you the best stocks to invest in now. The first stock obviously is going to be Facebook. They have changed their name to the Metaverse platform. It's interesting when you go to trade the Metaverse platform, the symbol is still FB for Facebook, but the name is officially changed to the Metaverse platforms. So that's a major change. I wonder how much that's going to throw people off, but I doubt that it will. They just want to keep reinforcing the idea that we're way more than Facebook. We're Instagram, we're WhatsApp, we're Oculus, we're the future of the metaverse, which I think is going to be something, as I've displayed in previous videos that I've done, showing you how far the headsets have come and what's coming. It's going to be hard to distinguish reality from the metaverse. So Facebook, they went through some changes when they were first established. I'm old enough to remember this. And MySpace was the original social media, but they were kind of dying down, let's say. But they hired the head of MySpace to give them advice on how to get Facebook going. And at first they wanted to call it the Facebook, okay? And it's just amazing. I think that consultant, maybe the major thing he did was said, get rid of the Facebook, just call it Facebook. That seems like a minor thing, but I think it ends up having a major effect. I've seen in my practice how names affect what people become and what they do. How you refer to yourself is very important. Well, at least they didn't call it the Book of Faces, you know. But it is officially referred to as Meta now. I think Mark Zuckerberg's presentation on Meta was very necessary to rebrand Facebook so that it reflected more of what it actually does and where they want to go in the future, which is the most important thing, of course, with stocks. As we look at the one-year chart on the Meta stock, we can see that it's had a recent falling out of favor since early September of this year. And I think they definitely needed a jump start, which this rebranding will help a lot. Did you know that Facebook is coming very close to being a $1 trillion company? Meta's price to earnings is only about 24, which is pretty low in my mind for a major technology company. Meta's excellent growth rate of 28% makes it a very undervalued company. Its current price is around the 330s. This stock should be trading in the 460s right now, not even considering all the growth they have coming their way. I'm so confident in this stock that I would buy it all the way up to 400. I would sell it if it went below 320. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not a financial advisor. You do what you're going to do, but I'm just telling you what my thinking is. And I do want to warn you, I am a different kind of trader in that if it goes below 320, I'll sell it in a heartbeat. But also, I get some kind of news that makes it turn around and it starts going up, I have no hesitation in jumping right back in. So when I say I'm going to jump out, that's really just a caution on my part. I have no problem jumping back in. I've jumped in and out of Tesla, I don't know, probably 30 times because it has such a wild trajectory, and it didn't hurt me at all. I won some, I lost some, it averaged out. The next stock I recommend for the metaverse is, of course, Nvidia. This is such a blockbuster stock. It does nearly 90% of the computer graphics, and it it's also in competition with advanced micro devices, AMD. And AMD has an interesting history in that they used to be big competition with Intel in the 1980s. I remember deciding whether to buy Intel or AMD, and Intel was always the favorite, and now it's quite the reverse. So it's interesting how companies change and progress, and you do learn something by the changes that companies tend to go through and what they need to do to stay relevant. Intel will be back. I think they will refurbish themselves. But NVIDIA's computer graphics is so important that it can't be ignored. NVIDIA's Tegra, that's Tegra, is a central processing unit in a chip that goes into the smartphones and mobile devices, which is important to the company. NVIDIA is so much into computer graphics that there's a joke going around that some people could never do a job at NVIDIA because the people there are just way too graphic. Well, as we look at the beautiful chart on this 660 some billion market capitalization company, we can see that this is exactly the way you want a chart to look. This is the basis of bullish investing, and my cat even thinks so too. At a price to earnings ratio of 62, they are overvalued, but I really don't care because their earnings growth rate is about 38%, and they are the only game in town besides AMD, whom they presently dwarf. AMD is doing well and they are coming up, but NVIDIA dwarfs them. NVIDIA is the seventh biggest company in the stocks right now. So this is no minor company. This is a behemoth. I put it in the same league as Tesla. You know, when you're in front of a freight train roaring through the tunnel, you better step off the track, is all I can say. Or if you're lucky, somehow grab on and get a ride because you're going to get the ride of your life. And that's my experience with Tesla. And I don't think NVIDIA will be quite as dramatic. I don't know any stock that's quite as dramatic as Tesla, but it's going to give you a thrill. Advanced Micro Devices, symbol AMD, classically did microprocessors for desktop computers. They also do semiconductors, and I think their computer graphics, which competes with NVIDIA, is becoming more and more important as we delve into the metaverse. I see them as a growing company. They have much the same profile as NVIDIA too. They have a 38% growth rate. They're technically overvalued, but their growth rate and the area they're in is in such demand that it's like beside the point. It's going to grow. If we chart Meta, which is Facebook, if we chart Meta, NVIDIA, and AMD and compare them on a one-year basis, you can see what my thesis is. Of course, NVIDIA has outranked everybody, and they're over 110% gain. AMD has done well and is up about 70%. and Facebook is only up about 23%. And Facebook should have the most growth, I think, in many ways, or should have it. Let's put it this way. Facebook right now, Nvidia and AMD are acting like classic growth stocks. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. But Facebook is showing characteristics of a growth stock and of a value stock. And that's just incredible. I think Facebook is an incredible value now that's going to break into a growth stock. It is a growth stock, but I mean, it's going to show the hyper growth that Nvidia is showing, I think, as the metaverse comes closer and closer into being. And it's not that far off. When we look at the advanced headsets and we know what shows up in the advanced headsets, it's getting close to reality. And we know that it'll be 1 or 2 years before we're able to flip $500 or $1,000 and have the same thing. So it's much closer than people realize. And I think Facebook has realized this because they're so close to it and they bought Oculus. But I think it's going places. I think the other two, I think all three of these are going places. And I'm invested in Nvidia and Facebook. I might put some money in AMD. I'm thinking about it. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe so you receive future videos. And I'll tell you what I'm doing trading-wise and stocks I'm thinking about that I'm not necessarily trading, but are probably worth a look. Farewell, and I will see you in the next one.